an old saying, business before pleasure. This was one of those times when a little business would be a pleasure. I'd been out in the hall 3 times to make sure someone hadn't pasted a quarantine sign on my door by mistake. And then the phone rang. It's not too good an idea to sound anxious, so I played it cozy. Then when he mentioned the fee involved, I decided not to be stubborn. He told me he was sitting in Jack's, a little place I know rather well in the East 40s. I usually meet my clients at my office, but Jack Cordell insisted I meet him on the outside. He said he was being tailed and didn't want to lead the tale to me. He wanted me to help him keep a date.
Suppose you wonder about me, huh? Up the side there, I got him being tailed.
Everybody's got a right to his own opinion.
Check it for yourself. Sitting at the bar, little fat guy in a derby.
How long's he been on you?
Ever since I hit town this morning. It's like he was waiting for me.
Why?
You got me. Look, I've been down in South America the past 3 years. Sure, I dabble a little in politics. Hey, maybe they still got an eye on me.
Secret police?
That's the way I read it. But look, that's not why I need you.
Huh? Why do you need me?
My girl disappeared. I want you to find her. Her name's Ann Cooper.
Ann Cooper. When's the last time you heard from her?
2 years ago.
2 years ago?
Yeah, she's supposed to join me in South America. Never showed. Letters came back marked, ooh, no forwarding address.
What was this address?
329 East 50th.
Well, does she have any close friends that you might know of?
Yeah, a girl named Celeste Ryan. She roomed with Ann. They both dance in the same club.
Did you try to get in touch with this girl?
Yeah, but moved. And anyway, I didn't want to go around there and ask any questions, you know, with this tail on me.
Well, I'll see what I can do. Where can I reach you?
I'm at the Statler.
I'll be in touch.
I'll wait for your call. Yeah, just take care of the tab. Yeah. And Hammer, when I leave, keep your eye on the derby.
Maybe Jack Cordell had just come back from South America. Maybe. Anything's possible. Even to spend 3 years in the South American sun and come back looking like boiled white sauce. But I could think of a place where it'd be more likely to spend 3 years and come away with a pallor. If I was right, I could learn a lot more about my client in the ID section at headquarters than I could sitting talking to him for hours. Jim Michaels, in identification, owed me a few favors. He promised to have the prints lifted off the glass and checked against the files. If my client had been a guest of the state, he'd have a complete make on him by evening. That'd give me most of the afternoon to run a check on Jack Cordell's missing girlfriend. There's a lot of routine in this work. You ask a question, you get an answer. If it's the right answer, you don't have to ask any more questions. If it's the wrong answer, you get to start all over again. At the house where the girls had lived, they were all wrong answers. Both girls had moved out about 2 years ago. Neither had left any forwarding addresses. The routine was just starting. The 2 girls had been dancers. The world of Broadway is a world of its own. If they were part of it, somebody would have kept in touch. My job was to find that somebody. Like any community, Broadway has its historians. Here, we call them gossip columnists. Each has his own favorite spot where he holds court, dispenses favors, exacts tribute. Danny Davis of the Globe is one of the oldest and the best. He goes back to the tradition of O.O. McIntyre and Damon Runyon, and that's not exactly recent. The name Ann Cooper didn't register, but Celeste Ryan's name rang a bell. It's like I said, you gotta ask questions to get answers. He remembered Celeste Ryan as a dancer in one of Barry Neville's reviews, but he had the impression she'd changed her name. I was in luck. His files paid off. Celeste Ryan was now Tempest Flame and was featured in a girly-girly show in the 50s. Her dance, he added, wasn't likely to be seen in drawing rooms this season, or any season. I figured to pass the word along to my client. He'd probably want to renew old acquaintances himself. Besides, he looked to me like a guy who might appreciate this version of the art of terpsichore. It's just a matter of routine and legwork. Sooner or later, you hit the right answer. It's that simple. I decided to go back to the office so I could figure out a bill for Jack Cordell that would hide the fact that it was that simple.
Hank, get flat feet waiting for you, Hammer.
Could get. What do you want, Flannery?
Dropped by headquarters today.
Yeah, that's right. I'm a taxpayer. I want to see how you boys are spending my money.
Oh, very funny. Where'd you get that glass you brought in for fingerprint pickup?
What glass?
The glass!
Oh, why?
Oh, some very interesting prints on it. My boss loved to know what the connection is.
No connection.
Oh, some guys collect stamps. You collect fingerprints.
That's right.
He's not going to like that answer.
Look, you didn't even tell me who the fingerprints belonged to, Flannery.
Guy named Jack Cordell.
That's great news. That's the name he gave me.
What are you doing with Jack Cordell?
What are you doing with him?
He's an ex-con, as of this morning. We like to keep an eye on our alma mater.
Oh. What'd he do?
Bank robbery.
Yeah, where?
Livingstone Manor.
How much?
Now, knock it off. I'm here to collect information, not give it. Now, come on. What's your connection with him?
No connection. He wants me to find him a girl. No, his girl. She's missing.
So there's a lot of the loot on the bank job.
I don't know anything about that. All I know is he's looking for a long-lost girlfriend.
And that's your story?
That's the story. Flannery wasn't satisfied, but then neither was I. If Cordell was a bank robber, then it stood to reason the little fat guy wasn't secret police. But no New York detective would be that clumsy at tailing a suspect. I suddenly got a yen to find out who he really was and why he was so interested in my client. My hunch paid off. The minute I hung up, Cordell must have hightailed it for the theater where Tempest Flame was playing, dragging his tail behind him. It was a calculated risk, but I was pretty sure the little guy hadn't seen me with Cordell. He was too busy trying to be inconspicuous.
You know, you ought to put that derby out to pasture.
Huh?
The hat. It sticks out like a sore thumb. He'll make it for sure.
What are you talking about?
The guy you're tailing. I watched you following me. The guy who went in there.
Say, who are you?
Well, my name's Mike Hammer. I'm a registered private detective. Now, I'm not doing anything now. I'd be glad to take the case over for you. You see, it looks like you could use a little good professional help.
Say, who do you think I am?
A bill collector? Well, a jealous husband? Maybe a process server?
Here, take a look at that.
Yeah, well, this is a license for a private detective. Are you this Andy Anderson?
That's what it says on my license.
Oh, boy, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to butt in like this. I just thought I'd give a non-pro a hand. Sorry.
Hey, wait, forget it, Hammer. Wait. You know, I've heard of you.
Oh.
You're big.
No.
No. You're pretty big. Listen, if you're not busy, maybe you'll help me and work on this case with me?
Forget it.
No, but listen, Hammer, this is big. Really.
Yeah?
Oh, you wouldn't believe it. You see, maybe it's too big for a little guy like me, but with you working with me, I think I could swing it.
How big?
Well, I don't think I could. No, from upstairs, way up. Oh.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah. You wouldn't believe me even if I told
Why
you.
don't you try me?
Wait. Oh, Butler Tilton.
Butler
Tilton?
You mean the columnist?
Yeah.
What does he want with the guy that you're tailing?
Well, you know how Butler works. Likes to scoop the cops and the other papers.
Yeah?
Well, this guy's name is Cordell. Just got out of prison. So, Butler Tilton, he got a tip that this guy's planning a big job. So he hired me as a cover. Then when the job explodes, Tilton moves in, calls the cops, and gets the scoop.
Well, it follows that this Cordell's a pretty sharp character, yeah?
Yeah, so?
Well, are you sure that he hasn't tumbled to the tail?
Why?
Well, I mean, there's a stage door bit. That's a real sharp cover-up. You know, he goes in the stage door and he walks out the front door.
Oh, you... I never thought of that.
I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll help you out. Now, you stick around here, see? I'll go inside. He doesn't recognize me. I'll just roam around.
Hey, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Hey, if we get separated, I'll contact you at your office later.
Fine. It was getting wilder and wilder. It didn't make sense. Why should Butler Tilton hire a fumbler like Andy Anderson, who had trouble keeping from walking on the heels of the man he was covering? That's very good.
Just can't believe it. I mean, why didn't somebody tell me?
I'm sorry, Cordell. I thought you knew.
I knew nothing. Her letters just stopped coming, and I just about went out of my mind.
Hit me hard, too.
What was she doing in Chicago?
She went out on the road with a show. She got a bad cold, and it turned into pneumonia. 2 weeks later, she died. I didn't know about it myself for a year.
I don't get it. Chicago. Why Chicago? Last time I heard, she was in New York. She was trying to find out who fingered me on the bank job.
I don't know anything about that.
Look, I want some answers. In her last letter, she said she was onto something. She was going to send me a name in a day or so. That's the last thing I heard.
Sorry, Cordell. I can't help you. Look, I've got a show to do, so won't you please get out of here and leave me alone? What are you going to do now?
Why?
Oh, I'm just asking.
Somebody else wants to know that, too. There's a little fat guy in a derby been telling me. You wouldn't happen to know why.
Why should I? I didn't even know you were out.
Yeah, sure, that's right.
Look, if you want to know why he's tailing you, why don't you ask him?
You know something. I might just do that. I'll see you around.
Hello.
Hi.
Who are you?
Well, let's not talk about me. Let's talk about Ann Cooper. Are you sure that she died of pneumonia, honey?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Murder.
Murder?
That's right.
You mean Annie was murdered?
Well, I don't know. You tell me.
How should I know? All it told me was that she died of pneumonia.
How very convenient. I hear she was just about to put the finger on the guy who put the finger on Jack Cordell, and she died. How convenient.
Look, mister, I don't know anything about it. I've got a number...
Maybe she didn't die.
Why tell me about
Because
it?
I think you'd be interested. There's no ground rules that say that a stool pigeon has to be a man.
What's that mean?
That means that a woman could use that reward, too. A woman who was close enough to Jack Cordell's girlfriend to...
Who is it?
It's the little guy that Cordell told you about.
Is he dead?
Yeah, very. He was shot twice in the back. All right, kids, go on back inside, huh? Go in and call the police for me, will you, honey? Go on back inside, everybody. Come on.
My client was nowhere in sight. He said he intended to ask Andy Anderson why he was tailing him. From the looks of things, I judged he wasn't satisfied with the answer. Saying that the show must go on. Nobody ever bothered to explain why, but everybody lives up to it. Out in the alley, the police were removing the remains of a little fat guy who didn't have a chance. Out front, an audience who didn't even know about the shooting was enjoying the show. On stage, Tempest Flame was doing the dance that wouldn't be seen in living rooms this season.
You got away before I could talk to you.
I had to do my number.
Oh?
I'd like to invite you in.
Oh, no.
But I would like to thank you for not mentioning my name to the police.
Oh, honey, the only reason I did it was because I don't think you had anything to do with what happened out there.
I didn't, I swear it.
Yeah.
I never saw the fat guy before, and I haven't seen Cordell in years. I didn't think he'd kill anyone.
You think, then, that Cordell did it, huh?
Who else? You knew the fat guy was tailing him. Certainly does have a hot temper.
Listen, honey, we didn't finish our little talk about Ann Cooper.
Oh, I've told you everything I know.
You were about to make a phone call when I came in here. Who to?
None of your business.
Oh, baby. Now, you were going to call somebody and tell them that Jack Cordell was back in town. Now, who?
Look, I owe you something for not mentioning my name to the police, but don't push your luck. There's a couple of stagehands here are kind of fond of me.
I see what you mean.
Of course, there was always the possibility that she was just calling to make a hairdresser appointment. On the other hand, there was still another lead. Andy Anderson had been hired by Butler Tilton to shadow Cordell. It might be interesting to find out why. had a penthouse in one of the fabulous cliff dwellings that line the river on New York's fashionable east side. I had never been a particular fan of his form of journalistic egomania, but I'd be the last to deny that he packed a lot of weight.
Yes?
Well, hello. My name's Mike Hammer. I've got a message from Mr. Tilton.
Well, I'm Mrs. Tilton, but he isn't here right now.
I'll wait.
Butler doesn't usually bring his business to his home. Are you sure that...
He'll want to see me? Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
You said your name was Mike Hammer.
That's right.
You're a private detective, aren't you?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know much about Butler's work, but I do know that he uses people like you.
Well, don't flatter yourself, Mrs. Tilton. He couldn't hire me.
Well, what are you doing here? Butler doesn't expect you, does he?
No, he expects a little guy named Anderson. But Anderson couldn't make it.
So you're running his errand for him?
Yeah, that's right, yeah. You see, Andy was, detained. But your husband will talk to me.
You seem pretty sure of that, mister.
Hello, darling.
Hello, darling. Who are you?
My name's Mike Hammer.
He's a private detective.
Oh, yes, it's a familiar name. Well, I've got to go out in a few minutes.
Your shirt's on the bed, darling.
Thank you, darling. What's on your mind?
Andy Anderson.
Anderson?
That's right. The boy that you hired to tail Jack Cordell. He's dead, murdered.
Murdered?
That's right. 2 slugs in the back. He didn't have a chance.
I'm sorry to hear that. Naturally. But then, there are risks in every game.
That's right, and we'll take them in our stride when we know what they are. But Anderson didn't figure on gunplay on a straight tail.
Well, neither did I. You think Cordell shot him?
Well,
Any witnesses?
no, nobody saw it. Well, Cordell had tumbled to the tail, and he walked out the stage door just a few minutes before it happened. Anderson was waiting for him to pick him up, tail him.
Awful.
Yes. But this ought to settle Cordell once and for all. And I won't rest until he pays for it.
Do the police have this Cordell?
No, they don't even know about him. I didn't stay around long enough to tell them about it.
Why not?
Because he's a client of mine.
What?
That's right. He hired me to find a girl named Ann Cooper, a girl who's been dead for over 2 years. Well, that's why Cordell hired a private detective. How about you, Mr. Tilton? Why'd you hire one?
I don't think that's any of your business.
I do. You hired Anderson, and he's dead.
All right. I had a tip that Cordell was planning another big job. I wanted an exclusive on it. I was going to break it on my TV show.
What was this job?
I'm afraid that's confidential.
Not anymore, it ain't.
Well, it was another bank job. The Clover Trust Company in Albany.
Where did you get that tip?
Now, that is confidential. In my business, Hammer, protecting a source is just as important as protecting a client is in yours.
Yeah, well, give a little, get a little.
Hammer, do you know where Cordell is?
No, but I'll tell you what I'll do. If I find him, I'll turn him over to you. He'd make a great guest on your 9 o'clock telecast.
Well, I better finish dressing.
Maybe Tilton was right. Maybe I should have called Pat Chambers and told him where Jack Cordell was holed up. On the other hand, as a client, I at least owed him the chance to clear himself if he could before I tossed him to the wolves. There was an unexpected development. When I arrived at his hotel, Jack Cordell had already checked out. I didn't expect such a sucker move from such a hip character. An ex-con on the run after a killing hasn't much chance of getting far. He was leaving a trail as wide as a New York State thruway. Just before he left, he called the transportation desk and got himself space aboard the Senator to Washington. And the Senator wasn't due to leave for another 25 minutes. That meant right now he was across the street in Penn Station waiting to get aboard.
It's you, Hammer. I don't recognize you.
Well, then why did you run? Who did you think I was? Somebody trying to sell your life insurance?
Look, you think I'm trying to run out on your fee? I called your office. You weren't in. Anyway, the deal's off.
No kidding.
Yeah. Annie's dead.
So's a little guy in a derby hat.
What?
That's right. 2 slugs in the back hardly ever help a guy break 90.
I had nothing to do with it. Sure, I heard the shot.
So did I.
You were there? I didn't see you.
Maybe it's a good thing. Maybe you would have tried for double or nothing.
Look, I told you I had nothing to do with it.
Convince me.
Look under the coat.
Oh, you're really spoiling for the hot seat, aren't you? You'd never make it.
I could try.
You're a fool. I'm probably the only guy in the world who can help you out of this mess.
I'm listening.
The little guy was shot in the back. He was dumb, all right, but he knew you. He'd never let you get behind him.
Sure, that's right.
Well, then why did you run out?
I don't like the climate here.
Is it better in Albany?
What's in Albany?
The Clover Trust Company, the bank you're going to knock over.
Never heard of it.
Somebody else thinks differently.
Look, I don't care what anybody...
You struggling, you'll never know where all the cops came from. You'll thank me later.
For what?
For saving you from the chair. Let's go. Come on. 2 forces, Cordell and Tilton. I was betting that by bringing them face to face, it would trigger the explosion I needed to break this one wide open.
Why bring me here?
You wanted to know who hired the little fat guy to follow you? I'm going to let you meet him.
Hey, what is this, Hammer?
Just keeping my promise. Here's your scoop.
Wait a minute. I know this guy.
Why, sure you do. That's Butler Tilton, world-famous columnist and television commentator.
So why would he want to put a tail on me?
Who is it, Butler? Why didn't know you were expecting anyone?
Annie. Annie, they told me you were dead.
Dead?
Sure. You didn't answer my letter, so I came here looking for you. And that Celeste, she said you died in Chicago. Hey, changed. Your hair, what did you do to your hair? Hey, what is this?
A lot more than a hair has been changed, Cordell. Meet Mrs. Butler Tilton.
Mrs. Butler Tilton? You gotta be kidding. Tell him he's kidding, Annie.
It's true. I couldn't stand the waiting. I met Butler and we fell in love.
Why couldn't you tell me?
I couldn't. I didn't want to hurt you. I thought it'd be easier if you thought I was dead.
Is that why you hired Anderson to tail him?
Yes. Yes, we knew he was coming out. We were afraid he'd do something violent if he knew Annie had married. I wanted to keep an eye on him.
We just wanted Anderson to be sure he didn't come too close.
And Anderson got himself killed for his trouble.
Well, we couldn't have known Cordell would shoot him.
What? So there you have it, Cordell. All nice and simple.
Yeah. Real nice and simple. The big newspaper man who got the big glamour on the scoop when he captured me. And the stool pigeon, the one that fingered me. You were the big newspaper man. And you were the stool pigeon.
Cordell, don't dirty your hands. Let the state do it.
State?
That's right. Your little Annie's the one who killed Anderson.
Annie? Well,
Don't let him do this to me, Butler. Don't let him. Don't let him do
That's right. She talked you into hiring Anderson, didn't she?
Yes.
That's right. Anderson, a rank amateur who Cordell here couldn't miss. Cordell, you're an ex-con with a short fuse. Now, when Anderson was killed, everybody in the world would think that you killed him, right? Is that the way you planned it, chicks?
Butler, you can't believe that.
Why? Why should she?
Well, this time she wanted to make sure she got rid of Cordell for good. So there's your scoop, Tilton, all wrapped up. She ran for the window and kept right on going. That first step must have been a doozy. One of the most important things in Butler Tilton's life had been his scoops. This time he had a real one, but somehow I got the impression that Butler Tilton had lost his taste for exclusives.